My finest work. Ah!
Hello everyone and welcome to 6.88 patch notes. Now I didn't read any YouTube comments, I didn't see any Reddit posts yet, I didn't read anything about the patch yet, so I'm strictly going this way, through the patch notes themselves. So let's just start. Abaddon Mist Coil cast point reduced from 0.452 to 0.35. I don't see it changing that much, maybe. Time will tell. Anti-Mage Mana Void mini stun duration increased from 0.15 to 0.3. That actually can do some damage in high MMR for good anti-mage players. Dealing with BKBs, dealing with lessening the abyssal, going more greedy. Arcward and Flux cooldown reduced from 20 to 18. Tempest double duration increased from 12, 13, 14 to 12, 14, 16. Tempest double cooldown reduced from 50, 40, 30 to 40, 35, 30. It doesn't change that much, it changes the hero, maybe, yeah? But it needs a rework all over, because when you disable the Divine and they disable too much, it's still pretty unplayable. Bane Brainsap cooldown reduced from 14 to 14, 13, 12, 11. That's actually pretty OP. Bane was already strong. Beastmaster primal raw damage reduced from. They didn't need to reduce the damage, they needed to reduce to increase the cooldown on the primal wall. Doesn't change that much. Bloodseeker rupture damage increased. Come to mama. From 20, 40, 60 to 26. Oof. That's actually strong as hell, because Bloodseeker is already pretty strong early game. Bloodright cooldown reduced 30, 25, 20, 15 to 25, 21, 17, 30. The first buff is stronger, but the second buff is also strong. Pretty good, pretty big buff to Bloodseeker. Bounty Hunter, track gold reduced from 170 to 60, 350 to what is this? Skip. Warmaster. Earth speed. Earth attacks range increased from 128 to 150. Fire increased range from 128 to 150. Fire armor increased. Final sprint ovation. That's a pretty strong Brewmaster buff. Brewmaster is back. Centaur double edge cooldown increased from 6 to 5. Centaur strength gain increased from 3.8 to. I mean, if you buff him. What is that? Chaos Knight. Phantasm cooldown reduced from 140 to. That's it? Okay. Maybe for late and ultra late game that changes much with going split push tactics with Manta, Yuctarine, Refresher, and split pushing. But not much else. Klink's attack range increased from 630 to attack range increased? What? The balance patch. Clockwork, rocket flare radius increased from 575 to 600. Power cog cast point improved from 03 to 02. Power cog's radius increased from 200 to 215. Interesting. That would change some mechanics on clock. Crystal Maiden. Crystal Nova radius increased from 400 to... Oof, that's wrong. Frostbite's cast range increased. Crystal Maiden didn't need a buff. Death Prophet. Spirit Siphon base health drain reduced from 25 to 6. That's a pretty good nerf. Disruptor, Static Storm, Silence no longer lingers. for 0.5 seconds after the duration is over. But okay, that changes not much, but okay. Doom cooldown increased from 140 to 145. What is this? What? That's just will. Draw Ranger turn rate improved. That's good. Turn rate for Wind Ranger was horrible. Frost Arrows slow increased from 15, 30, 45, 60 to 16, 32, 48, 64. Okay, it doesn't change that much. Frost Arrows need maybe a rework, I think. Earthshaker Echo Slam radius increased. The balance patch. 575 to 600. Okay. Black hole damage type from magical to pure and pierces spell immune. What? Black hole damage reduced. Okay, so... Okay, that's pretty balancing. No longer spell immune, the damage, and the damage is reduced, so it's pretty good. Air Spirit Magnetize, cooldown increased from 80 to 190, 80. So that's kind of a rework? Kind of. Gyrocopter, Scepter Side Gunner Attack, interval improved from 1.4 to 1.5. The balance. Okay. Invoker Force Spirit damage decreased. That's good. Ooh. That's good. Jakiro Ice Path duration increased from 1.4, 1.8, 2.2 to 1. Oof, that's good. 2 and 2.5. That's pretty good. Keeper of the Light Chakra Magic cooldown reduced from 19, 18, 17, 16 to 17, 16, 15, 14. Okay. Doesn't change that much. Intelligence increased from 22 to 25. That changes way more. Kunkka Torrent slow duration increased from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1.75, 2.5, 3.25, and 4. That's just the needed change. Tidebringer bonus damage increased. 25, 40, 55, 70 to 25, 45, 65 and 85. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Legion overwhelming odds damage per hero increased from 20, 35, 50, 65. Oof. 20, 40, 60, 80. That's pretty big. That's actually pretty big for Legion. Moment of courage cooldown reduced. That's huge buffs for Legion. Both early and mid game. And late game. Lich Scepter now improves Chain Frost slow from 30 to 50%. The balance! Yeah, right. Armor, ice armor attack speed slow from 20 to 30. Matches movement slow. Okay. That's semi-strong. Not that crucial, but the 30 to 50% change is huge. Didn't they just buff the scepter for Lich in the last patch? Lifestealer, base attack time increased from 1.7 to 1.85. That's pretty good. I agree with this change. Lina, Dragon Slave, cooldown reduced from 8.5 to 8. This is just silly. Luna, Lucent Beam. Stun duration increased from 0.6 to 0.8. Okay. Mm, I would have liked to seen it at 1. Movement speed increased from 330 to 325. Okay, so it does change a bit, but not really. Balance. Empower cleave radius increased from 200 to 225. That's pretty good. Strength gain increased from 2.75 to 2.9. Interesting. That's hmm. Both of them combined makes him a better laner. Medusa intelligence gain increased from 1.85 to 2.1. Interesting. Too much, I think. Meepo Geo strike damage per second increased from 8, 16, 24, 32 to 10, 20, 30, 40. That's pretty big for Meepo players. That's pretty big for Meepo players. Interesting. Crystallis? Morphling. Hybrid cooldown reduced from 70 to 60. That doesn't really change much. Agility gain increased from 3.4 to 3.7. It didn't need that. I don't think it needed that. Strength gain on Naga Siren increased from 2.3 to 2.5. Okay. Necroforce Heartstopper Aura range reduced from. That's good. That's actually good. From 1200 to 900. That's good. Heartstopper HP drain increased from. Increased? Fuck you. Cancel. Nyx Assassin movement speed increased from 300 to 305. It didn't need that, especially with the Vendetta. Why? Ogre Magi. Ignite mana cost reduced from 95 105, 115, 125 to 90. Yeah, I agree. Multicast interval increased from. That will cost some trouble. That will cost some trouble. Omni-Knight strength increased from 20 plus 2.65 to 22 plus 2 point. What? I thought I'm reading wrong. What? That's pretty huge. That that makes him a pretty big laner, even solo now. Hmm, kind of a Pudge or a Haskell. Hmm, pretty interesting. A lot of people will go carry on him now. Outwall Devourer. Essence Aura mana bonus increased from 75 150 to 25 300 to 125 200 to 75 350. Batman is back. Arcane Orb Intelligence still duration increased from 50 to 60. That changes not much because you want him in one fight destroying everyone. You're not waiting for 50 seconds between intelligence steals, just like Slug. But this one is pretty decent. Sorry for that. Oracle Purifying Flames cast range increased from 750 to 800. Why? Phantom Assassin, Phantom Strike in out target, spell immune heroes. So that means Courier, that means Ancients. Oh, heroes. So that means heroes. So it's basically like a scepter for clock. That's pretty big. Sunray base damage reduced from 15, 20, 25, 30 to 10, 15, 20, 25. Pretty good. Pretty balanced. Pudge Slow increase from 25 to 30%. That's good. Dismember cooldown reduced from 30 to 30, 25, 20. Pudge is back. Pugna. Intelligence grows. Increase from 4 to 4.5. Not really much. Nether Blast cooldown reduced from 5.5 to 5. Combined, it's okay. Razor, Eye of the Storm damage per strike increased from 37, 50, 63 to 40, 55, 70. That's strong. Not that strong. They could have increased it a bit more, but it's pretty balanced. Ricky's smokescreen mana cost increased from 75, 80, 85, 90 to 90. That's big. That's big for early game. Ricky is becoming more and more of a support. Sand King Epicenter cooldown reduced from 140, 120, 100 to 120, 110, 100. So endgame doesn't change at all. Early game a bit. Strength increased from 21 to 22. Okay. Shadow Demon, Disruption, Illusion, duration increase from 6, 8, 10, 12 to 8, 10, 12, 40. Okay, it's okay. Shadow Fiend, movement speed increased from 305 to 310. Interesting. It's pretty good. Neko Mastery, max souls increased 15, 22, 29, 36 to 18, 24, 30, 36. So endgame doesn't change that much. Mid-game changes. Mid-game changes. And early game changes the most. Interesting. Shadow Fiend is back in the early game. Shadow Shaman, Mass Serpent Wall's flesh radius increased from 75 to 100. That's strong. That's very strong. Mass Serpent wards increased from 40, 45, 55, 60, 70, 75 to... Okay. Both of them together is a pretty big buff to the wards. Split pushing with Shadow Shaman is strong. Very strong now. Silencer agility increased from 16 to 22. Okay. It makes him better mid-game? Maybe? With some items? Skywrath Mage. Concussive shot impact AoE increased from 200 to 250. That's pretty big. 250 is big. Interesting. Slug bounce damage reduced from 50, 100, 150, 200. Fuck this. 40, 80, 120, 160. That's a pretty big nerf to Slug. Bounce damage is completely taken down. Sniper sharpnel damage increase from 15, 30, 45, 60 to 15, 35, 55, 75. That's pretty strong. That's a good buff. It needed it. It needed it. Spirit Waker, greater bash increased damage. Why? From 22, 28, 34, 40 to 22, 30, 38, 46. It didn't need that at all. Storm Spirit, overload damage increased from 30, 50, 70, 90 to 40, 60, 80, 100. That's good. Overload AoE increased from 275 to 300. That's good buffs for Storm. Sumail? Templar Assassin. Psyblades width increased from 68 to 75? Width? What do you mean? Like the spread of the Psyblades? If yes, that's very strong. Psionic Trap max movement slow increased from 50 to 60. That's pretty good buffs for TA. That's pretty good buffs. TB. Conjure Image. Mana cost reduced from 80 to 70. Okay. Conjure Image duration increased from 32 to 34. Okay, that's balancing somehow. Not. What is this? Slaughter. Movement speed reduced from 295 to 290. I don't agree with this nerf. Kind of nerf. Tiny. Toss cooldown reduced from 9 to 8. That's good. Balancing? No. Good? Yeah. One more second. It's pretty good in mid game. Big team fight. Yeah, it's good. Trent. Base damage increased by 6. Seriously? Are they trying to make Trent a carry? He's already way too strong of a face-to-face melee in the early game. Not that he can do anything with it, but still. He feels like he has a radiance. Minute 1. Troll. Berserker Rage no longer provides 100 health bonus. That's big. Strength increased from 17 to 20. Okay. Berserker Rage armor bonus increased from 3 to 6. Okay. Berserker Rage base attack time improved from 155 to 1. What the fuck is going on? Ranged whirling axis travel distance increased from 945 to 1k. What the fuck? Did they just buff him? Troll? Did you just buff? What? No, no, not okay. No. Undying. Intelligence gain increased from 2.5 to 2.8. Okay. Decay cast range increased from 625 to 650. That's big. Decay duration increased from 40 to 45. That's also big. That's pretty strong buffs. Altogether in the early game, that's pretty strong buffs. Ursa. Fury swipes. The buff duration increased from 15 to 20. That's too much. Base HP regen increased from, that's good, from 0.25 to 0.75. That's good. Venom intelligence increased from 15 plus 1.5 to 17 plus 1.8. That's big. That's big early game, that's big mid game. That's big. Plug World's damage increased from 10, 19, 29, 38 to 13, 22, 31, 40. That's pretty strong buffs for Veno. Veno is completely back. Viper Strike. Scepter cooldown reduced from 12 to 10. It didn't need that. Strength gain increased from 1.9 to 2.1. It did need this because he was squishy as hell early and mid game. Visage Gravekeeper's Cloak. Armor bonus per layer increased from 1 to 3, 5 to 1.5, 3, 4.5, 6. Okay. That's pretty good, but not enough. Maybe even more to bring him back. Gravekeeper's Cloak magic resistance. Bonus per layer increased from 3, 6, 16 to 5, 10, 15, 20%. Pretty good, not enough to bring him back to the game. Winter Wyvern. Winter Curse. Cooldown increased. The cooldown reduced from 90 to 80. Why? That was not needed. Warlock. Golem HP increased. That's good. 900, 1200, 1500 to 900, 1350. That's good. That's strong as hell. 800. That's strong. Fatal bonds no longer gets reduced by damage block. Pretty strong buffs for Warlock. Weaver, base damage increased by 2. Weird. His base damage was good. Wind Ranger. Wind Run. Cooldown reduced from 15 to 14. A bit too much. I would have maybe even made the cooldown longer. Tether movement speed on Wisp reduced from 14, 15, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17 to 13, 15, 16%. I don't understand this one. I mean, not that I don't understand it, I don't understand why they made this one. They should have kept it the way it was. Wraith King, Wraith Fire Blast, damage over time increased from 15, 30, 40, 50 to 20, 35, 50, 65. That's pretty strong, especially in the early game. The damage from the Wraith Fire Blast. They're making him like a poison type hero. Zeus Arc Lightning cooldown reduced from 1.75 to 1.6. That's pretty good for Zeus. That's pretty good for Zeus, especially in the early game. Items. Armlet recipe cost increased from 500 to 550. Okay, that's pretty good. Bloodthorn critical strike multiplier increased from 135 to 145. Unnecessary. That's strong as fuck. Butterfly agility increased from 30 to 35. That's pretty good. Crimson Guard cooldown reduced from 50 to 46. Seriously? What's this one? OP! No, not really. What? Dragonlance. Strength and agility reduced from 15 to 14. That's pretty good. Attack range bonus increased from 130 to 140. Stronger push. That's insane. Hurricane Bike. Attack range bonus increased from 130 to 140. That's okay. I agree with that one. Active now grants 100 attack speed for the 4 attacks it provides on the target? What? Okay. Let's see how this one works out. Road of Eidos. Cooldown reduced from 12 to 10. I like this one. I like this one. Road of Eidos is completely back. Smoke of the Sea, last but not least, now has 1 second cooldown on use to prevent X and that's good. That's a pretty good one. Okay, so that's it. What I think in general about everything. I like the purge buffs. Phantom Assassin is pretty good. Shadow Fiend, early game, changes. Why not? That's pretty good. In general, if you think of the big picture, it's a pretty balanced patch. I mean, there are a few things here and there, but not too many mind-blowing stuff. Improvements mostly, 80% improvements, in my opinion. I would have changed like 10, 15, 20%. But in general, it's a pretty good patch. Well, that's it for today. We're done. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Subscribe, like, peace!